This meeting is now called to order. Please rise for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance led by Vice Mayor Binsbacher. The clerk will please call the roll.
Mayor Carlett.
Here.
Vice Mayor Binsbacher.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Hunt. Councilmember Patena.
Here.
Councilmember Edwards.
Here.
Good evening and welcome to the Peoria City Council Special Budget Study Session of April 4th, 2019. And with that, since it will all be about budget all the time, I will turn it over to City Manager Jeff Tyne.
Great. Thank you, Mayor and Council, and thank you very much for attending this session. Very important for us. It is our opportunity to present formally the recommended fiscal year 2020 budget. And of course, this budget is a culmination of literally hundreds of hours of study session time, informal meetings with all of you, and of course, reading through this rather prolific book. For those that aren't aware, a government budget represents a lot more than just numbers or even just the bottom line, because the budget represents what is the key policy document for our elected leaders. And as a result, an immense amount of time and thought has to be put into how we allocate our Peoria taxpayer dollars on that. So with that, that all starts with this 573-page document, which I plan to summarize in 6 bullets. So if I may, I'll move to the next slide here, and I'll go through just a couple of observations as we go forward. First off is, of course, this budget is balanced. State law requires that we have an identified revenue source for each one of our expenditures, but as you would come to expect in the city of Peoria, this is much more. We develop a budget that is structurally balanced. There is an identified ongoing revenue source for every ongoing expenditure that we expect. So we are structurally sound by our estimates for the foreseeable future. This budget also maintains our reserves and upholds our financial policies in a way to preserve our high credit rating, and that is very important to us. It's another one that is committed to public safety. So as you all have made clear in the sessions that we've had, we are coming to you with a budget that gives priority to the safety and security of our residents and to our businesses. And it also is one that focuses on core services as well. We are focused in all of our areas, whether it's our amazing neighborhood parks, our streets, our water and wastewater facilities, focusing on delivering the core services at a very high standard. And we will be bringing that message to you as we go through our presentations. We're proud to do this by being as efficient and as effective as we can. We're very proud of our staff focusing on keeping in thoughts the bottom line and really watching our taxpayer dollars. As a result, there is no change to our primary, our secondary, and sales tax as well. I think we'll go to the next. So again, the budget that is here does not have a change to any of the sales tax categories, to our primary property tax rate, and to our secondary tax rate. We have a number of utilities. They act as a business. Our water, wastewater, solid waste functions are examples of that. They pay for themselves. Of these, we have some modest inflation level increases that nonetheless keep our overall utility rate bill as one of the lowest in the valley. And then lastly, it's important to know that this budget that's put before you is our best effort to support the council priorities. Your staff is embracing the council's goals to be a community of distinction. And with that, that starts with the livability categories that we just discussed just a few weeks ago. As a reminder, you had the 6 captains who are here in the audience that presented about the importance of the council priorities of our livability elements: efficient transportation, maintaining economic competitiveness, providing a lifestyle with arts, culture, and recreation, preserving healthy neighborhoods and creating healthy neighborhoods, offering superior public services, and of course, being thoughtful and prudent with respect to growth, which is always important for us here in a growing community. Those internal teams have continued to work, and also it's no coincidence that you will see these items infused in the fiscal year 2020 budget itself, which has been discussed, as you know, at length to all of you. This is not just the first budget sessions you've had. In fact, as you'll recall, soon after the budget study sessions last year, we began a number of different study sessions on a number of different items related to livability goals and key functional areas. This is half of them, and I think there's another half here as well. I'm happy to go through these, but in reality, you have gone through these at great length, and you'll hear all of this, really a summary of these different study sessions that will be brought out in the presentations that you have before you. So that's all I have for some opening comments. If I may, I'd like to pass it over to Sonia Andrews, our Chief Financial Officer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tyne. So, thanks. So our budget presentation tonight, this is our layout for it. We will first I will go over the financial principles that we follow. Then tonight we will have a financial overview that's presented by Barry Haug, our Deputy Finance Director, and Peter Christensen, our Budget Manager over there. And then after they are done with their financial overview, we will have our 3 deputy city managers go through each of the operating budgets with you, the proposed budgets with you. And Monday, we will wrap up with the capital improvement program. Okay. So to start out with, wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about the financial principles and foundation that guides the city's finances and also guides the city's budget process. Peoria has a proud tradition of prudent financial management. This is a testament to Council's commitment to establishing sound financial principles and Council's discipline to following those principles. Your commitment and discipline have helped us avoid financial problems and even being put in any unflattering light. It has also helped us maintain our strong reserves and solid bond ratings and positioned us well for the future. Thanks. Throughout our budget process, we are guided by our financial principles. We work within our means. And what that means is that we work within the resources we have. We do not budget expenditures when we do not identify any funding for those expenditures. We present a balanced budget to you. Next, we take a long-term perspective. Rather than just looking at the very next year, even though we're putting just a one-year budget together, we look at 5-year forecasts of our major operating funds, and we also revisit and update our 10-year capital improvement program every year when we put the budget together. We pay attention to the nexus between revenues and expenditures, and what that means is that we look at whether it makes sense to use these revenues to pay for these expenditures. For example, ongoing revenues can support ongoing expenditures, while one-time revenues should only be used to fund one-time expenditures. Another example would be revenues generated from specific operations are used to fund expenditures of those operations and not some other unrelated operations. Next, we make sure we meet all our reserve requirements. We make it a priority to have adequate reserves for operations, for emergencies, rate stabilization, self-insurance, debt, and asset replacement. Having adequate reserves helps us weather any unexpected events as well as cyclical cycles such as mild recessions. And finally, as we're putting the budget together, we adhere to our various funding policies. Funding policies ensure critical obligations are properly funded. For example, the reserve funding policies we just mentioned, and funding policies for specific programs like our Percent for the Arts, or regarding certain services, how we fund them, whether it's full cost recovery or not. And next month, we will also be bringing to you our pension funding policy to show our commitment to funding our employees' pensions. So as we go over the proposed budget with you tonight and on Monday, we believe it is important to keep these financial policies and our financial principles in mind. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over now to Barry Haug and Peter Christensen to give you our high-level overview.
All right. Before we get into the department reviews, I was hoping to kind of just run the high-level budget numbers for FY20. As a quick recap on the processes that we do in Peoria, we start out with the operating process that supports the day-to-day operations of the city. So that's like our police, our fire, our public works, picking up trash, our water services. Those are really funded through taxes and the charges for service and rates. And then we also have the capital budget, and that's a separate process. And those, again, are those large one-time projects. So your water and wastewater plants, your roads, other infrastructure that we have. Those are really funded through taxes, user fee. I'm sorry, those are not funded. It's through bonds, rates, and some impact fees. Here's where we're looking at the total budget for FY20 proposed budget. And it's $685 million, and that represents about a 3.8% increase over last year's $660 million. The operating budget is $311 million, and that's about a 5% increase. And the capital budget is $281 million, and that's 1.6% increase. Those remaining items on the graph are to pay our annual debt service, and that is about $43 million. And then we also have our, contingency reserves, and that's at $49 million. This is a look at the city's general fund. This is our largest operating fund in the city. When we're developing that 5-year financial forecast, we start by looking at the revenues. And this chart shows the different types of revenues that support the general fund. And if you're looking at this pie chart, you can see that 2/3 of the revenues come from two sources: our local city sales tax at 34% and the state shared revenues at 31%. And those sources are really tied closely to consumer spending. And those are volatile, as you know, and it's really tough to predict from year to year. So to help diversify some of that, our base in revenues, we also charge fees and charges for some of the services like in recreation in our development and engineering areas. And these fees help offset those individual costs for those programs or services. Also in the general fund, we have internal services like human resources, the city attorney, city clerk, budget. These services get charged out to all the funds, all the operating funds in the city. And so therefore it kind of gives us revenue into the general fund for that. When we're looking at the general fund expenditures by service area, you can see that public safety makes up about 54% of the expenditures. You can see police and fire on the left side there. If you took out the areas that generate revenues, police and fire would actually be about 71%. So you can see a significant portion of that does go to public safety. In the development, engineering, and parks rec, our neighborhood services and human services areas, they make up about 25% of the budget. And as I said, some of those costs are offset by revenues in the form of fees for those services. The general fund is, like I said, where we house a number of the city's admin areas, and that's at 16%. And again, those services are allocated across all funds. So here's an expenditure forecast for the next 5 years for the general fund. And I showed you this in November, and not much has really changed since then as far as how we're looking at this. We're seeing a moderate expenditure growth, about 2.9% per year. And much of that reflects increases in personnel costs. So with council's desire to be an employer of choice and offer a competitive pay plan, we've included the approved MOUs and also equivalent for those that are not covered in this model. It also includes the expected increases for retirement and health benefits. And we do know those FY20 rates now. In November, we didn't know them at the time when we were kind of estimating, but in FY20, the health increase is going to be about 9%. And the retirement costs, we have different plans, but the highest is 2.6, and the other ones are a little bit lower than that. So that was good news seeing that come in. Lastly, it also includes the op impacts of the CIP. As you know, we program that in the 5-year forecast. One good example of that is Paloma Park. So we had that in early, and now we're seeing it come into this budget in FY20. Next, we'll look at the revenues. And here we apply the revenues that are considered recurring. So those that we can rely on year after year. So when we compare the revenues to our expenditures, we are able to support our existing operations. And as Jeff and Sonia said earlier, we are structurally balanced. You can't really see it in this chart, but there's a small gap between the revenues and expenditures. And the revenues are just a tad higher. It's about $1.1 million. And that is important to know because that represents less than 1% of our current expenditures. So when you're looking at the blue bar there, 99% is really the services we're providing today. The gap would be the amount that we really have for new ongoing needs. And we've incorporated that into the proposed budget in the form of the supplementals that you see throughout the departments. In summary, the forecast again shows moderate growth in revenues able to support our current needs. And as Sonia mentioned earlier, we are structurally balanced. So that's always good news. The other revenues we like to look at, we consider one-time. And those revenues are not expected to be there every single year. We put those in a different bucket. They come from a strong or growing economy, development-related revenue, revenues above the budget, or from cost savings. Over the last 2 years, we've had a strong development revenue, and since we can't rely on that activity every year, we put those in that one-time bucket. So we have about $13 million in FY20 that we consider one-time. The proposed budget includes recommendations for spending this, and it's kind of in some of these major areas I'm going to show you here. We're recommending about $4.6 million going to the capital improvement program for pay-as-you-go projects. These include placemaking, shade initiative, some refresh and repair and maintenance projects you see in the CIP. The budget also includes $2.6 million for public safety area, and that's mainly to start up costs of the 5th ambulance service, as well as replacing the fire rescue boat at Lake Pleasant, and some additional police vehicles for patrol and special assignment. The budget includes transferring $750,000 to the Workers' Comp Trust Fund, and that's to help to achieve the reserve requirements approved by the Trust Board. As you know, we are self-insured, and these reserve requirements are kind of a set-aside for those larger than expected workers' comp claims that could happen in a given year. At approximately $2.3 million is for other general fund one-time items that you'll see in the department overview presentations. These are items such as special events, our neighborhood grant funding, studio broadcast equipment, and contract personnel for police. And lastly, we have a unique opportunity with the higher than normal one-time funding available, and that's mainly due from the economy that's been growing these past few years. We were recommending we set aside about $3.5 million to minimize the volatility of a recession. Also, we could reduce future liabilities like pension or healthcare costs. So we believe that's a good strategic use for some of those one-time dollars. Next, I would like to spend a little time just talking about some of the other city funds. We had discussed these in the November study session as well when we did the financial update. But I'll start out with the half-cent sales tax fund. This fund provides a number of important operational functions, including public safety, economic development, and the sports complex. Public safety and economic development make about 70% of what you see in the budget in this fund. It also supports development agreements, payments, and debt service payments on the Center for Performing Arts and clubhouse improvements at the sports complex. And we are able to support the ongoing commitments going forward, and as we discussed in November's financial update, with the strong sales of our tax revenues, sales tax revenues, this fund has the capacity over the 5-year planning period to support some additional economic development projects or operations that further council's objectives. In the transportation area, we have 3 major funds: streets, our transportation sales tax, and our transit. This fund, the streets fund, main sources of revenue are the sales tax on utilities and HERF. HERF is basically the state's gas tax, which is not based on the price, but actually based on the gallons purchased. This revenue goes into the streets fund and supports a number of street maintenance and traffic engineering operations. In addition, this fund supports numerous capital programs, including the street maintenance program, community works, and arterial overlay program. Next, the transportation sales tax was approved by the voters in 2005, And this is such an important source for us, used to support a large number of capital needs. It also helps our transit operations, the 83rd bus route and the new circulator route. And lastly, transit. We do get a little bit of money from LTAF in that, and that's really coming from Powerball sales. It helps, support some of the transit operations, but the majority of that money is coming from our transportation sales tax fund. So in these transportation funds, we can support our ongoing operations for those areas. All right. Next is the enterprise funds, which includes water, wastewater, and our solid waste funds. These are funds that are kind of on your own. We don't use these to subsidize any other areas. The revenues stay in the fund to support the enterprise operating and capital needs. And as Sonia discussed with you on March 5th, we are proposing small annual adjustments to the utility rates at near the rate of the inflation. A public hearing for the utility rates will be held at the May 21st council meeting. All right. With regards to the positions in the city, we have about 1,250 currently, and they're full-time equivalents or FTEs. We're asking for an additional 28 FTEs in various areas throughout the city. And we will discuss these in more detail in department overviews, but I wanted to touch on how we are funding these positions. So the first set, let's see, 3. Sorry about that. Oh, the first 8, okay. I didn't have my glasses on, I was like, great. The first 8 FTEs are related to the 5th ambulance, and it's once it's up and running, there'll actually be a revenue offset, so that'll be neutral. We also have the op impacts of the CIP. These positions are for Paloma Community Park. These are general fund positions, but they've been in our financial plan ever since we put the project in the plan. So they've been accounted for a number of years. We also have a .25 engineer position, which will be paid by user fees, and 3 FTEs, which are in those internal service areas. And some of those costs will be paid by other operating funds in the city, so there's a less impact to the general fund. And then we have our last 2 positions on this slide, which are supported fully by the general fund, meaning we are using new available tax revenues to support them. And then the last of the 28 is 6.7 FTEs that are being requested in our enterprise funds. Now these positions are in water, wastewater, and our residential solid waste funds, and they're covered by the rates charged to those specific users. And with that, we'll look at, just quickly look at the format of the book. Last week, the budget books were delivered to your offices, and a public copy was available on the website on April 1st. The format is very similar to last year. It's a huge document. It's over 800 pages, as you may know. And if it was just budget numbers, it'd probably be a lot smaller. But we wanted to show you how we prepare strategically for the budget and how we measure ourselves. So you'll see that really in sections A through E. And then in the book, it's shown as green tabs kind of in the front. We also have department overviews showing the department spotlight and performance report, their budget by category and division, listing of positions, and the new supplementals and carryover requests. Those you will find by department name, and those are the black tabs you see right after those major sections. The department overview presentations will be in the same order kind of as your workbook. And as if that wasn't enough, we also have a separate book where we have our line item detail, and that's available. It's an additional 800 pages. That's available for those who are interested, but right. So with that said, are there any questions on kind of how we funded it or any of the major? Now we can go to
Council, do you have any questions? Councilmember Patena?
Thank you, Barry. Just one question. I noticed that state share revenues is 31% of a budget, which is a pretty big chunk. State share revenues are always seem to be a gray area, whether we're going to get cut or not get cut. Any surprises this year with that?
I don't see anything, when we're forecasting out a little bit, I haven't seen anything that come through that would say that we're not going to get our normal allocation. And we're actually hoping through the census, we get bumped up in our forecast. So we're hoping we kind of catch back up.
So I found this book to be really easy to use. I mean, it was so organized in such a great way. I mean, you can always cross-reference any number. It's got page numbers in here for, you know, where a line item might be in the CIP. And I found it to be really easy for a layperson to look at. So I appreciate that.
Yep.
I know this is a lot of work and an equal amount of work to make it easy for people like me to understand. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay, so what we'll do, if that's all right, is we're going to go through the different parts of the operating budget. As you can see, we have, as Barry had mentioned, the green tabs, kind of the broader sections, and we'll do presentations by that piece. And I drew the small straw, so I'm going to do leadership and management to start, so if you could just be gracious as I get through this. But beginning on page 73, where you'll see both the mayor and city council budget as well as what we call the city management budget. So we're happy to present this. This represents about 3% of the general fund operating budget. You can see that much of that budget is made up of personnel-related costs, but there are some contractual I'll go through. Just a little bit of background of what makes up this budget. There's a number of city management functions included in this. This is in addition to the mayor and council budget, we have the intergovernmental affairs, which is led by your intergovernmental affairs director, Thomas Adkins, as well as the Office of Real Estate Development. That's Scott White's position, where we are looking specifically at strategic key land parcels and really positioning them for future goals that we have. And so we have that within this area. It also, this budget does include the support for the deputy city managers, the chiefs of staff, and administrative staff as well, overall representing about 19 positions with a $4.7 million budget. Most of the funding in leadership and management does come through the general fund, but there are a few internal service charges as well to represent our work with the utility-related activities. The contractual budget, as we'd mentioned, that consists mostly of some technical studies that you have within Scott's area in real estate development, and also for consulting services, state and federal contracts that we have, lobbying contracts and the like, and ongoing funding for an intergovernmental agreement that we have with Luke Air Force Base. So with that, I'll go to, I think, the next page, if we can. We'll talk about some of the notable budget items in here. We're proud to promote the partnerships that we have with a number of different stakeholders. And some of those investments include our investment with Luke Fighter Country Partnership and for Peoria's share for federal representation for protection of this vital base, which we also are partners with a number of other cities here in the Valley. Included in the budget, we do have professional service monies that were set aside for consulting for pre-development work on key state land development sites, and one-time money for employee appreciation of events and professional development opportunities for your city staff. We talk a lot about talent pipeline in the city of Peoria, and you can see within this budget our efforts to support our youth delegation, in the form of our youth advisory board, as you're well aware, that our Neighborhood and Human Services supports, and also our council advisors that we have here as well. But there is funding that is set aside to assist in that program and offer an opportunity to attend the National League of Cities and Towns Conference for our council youth liaisons. In addition, we're planning to develop 2 different management internship programs. This includes a partnership with Arizona State University for a possible Marvin Andrews Fellowship Program, as well as a national management intern program in concert with other graduate programs across the country. These internships, they work in your line departments throughout the city, helping to drive a number of key initiatives. And then they also assist with the budget office and with city management staff with a number of different issues that come up throughout the year. So it is a great way to have a pipeline for some of those amazing emerging leaders that we've had good fortune to bring into our organization. One last thing, just to be aware, again, Scott White is our real estate development officer, and his office, in conjunction with consulting efforts, provides important land development and planning services, really to make sure that we position the real estate in our area in the development for development in the city. So there's a lot of technical analysis, including site development plans, site evaluation, topo surveys, utility reports, traffic analysis. All of these are ways to make sure that those key parcels that really are going to be instrumental for our economic development, for placemaking, for a unique kind of housing mix, whatever that is, that we are positioned effectively in working with the development community on that, and other stakeholders like state land. So those are the major items within the leadership and management budget and additional ads, and I'll address any questions you have within that area. Great, I'm really glad. So, okay, didn't know if I'd answer. Thank you, I'll pass it over to, I think, Katie.
It's actually me. Thanks, Jeff. Before we go forward, just to start with, Administration Department start on page 107, so if you want to flip to that page, that'd be great. And I just wanted to acknowledge that we do have all of our department heads in the audience, as well as their staff. As you can see, we are well attended, and if we have any specific questions, we'll probably be calling them down. But with that, we'll start with the Administration Departments, which includes 7 different departments, including Finance and Budget, Information Technology, Human Resources, Office of Communications, City Clerk, the City Attorney's Office, and the Municipal Court. These departments' core service areas, one of them is to support the more outward-facing departments such as Water Services, Public Works, Police, and Fire. These departments staff a total of 206 FTEs and a budget of $70 million in total. About 43% of the total budget is personnel cost and 52% is contractual. Of the 52% that's contractual, over $25 million is for our self-insured funds of risk management, health insurance, and workers' compensation. So a big chunk of that contractual services. The administration departments are mainly funded through the general fund and internal service charges, as Barry mentioned earlier. Although not nearly as visible as other departments in the city, departments covered under this section are focused on maintaining superior public service to internal and external clients. All departments follow HR's lead to ensure our workforce planning and professional development strategies keep us an employer of choice. This includes managing the city's competitive pay for performance program and our benefits package that includes healthcare, workers' compensation, and tuition reimbursement. Continual process improvement is a core value across the organization to maintain superior public service. Being economically competitive also requires us to build our brand through communications. With that said, the proposed budget furthers these livability initiatives, and these are the main budget proposals that we've got for the administration departments. For the past 5 years, we have had a contract employee to support the city's marketing and graphics areas as we emphasize our communications to our residents. This year, we are asking for that position to become a full-time position to support these efforts. The budget also includes replacing some of the aging equipment in our Channel 11 studio for broadcast purposes. With the implementation of the new Human Capital Management System that we just implemented, ADP, there is a need for a business systems analyst to manage the timekeeping components for the city. So that's being proposed as part of the budget. Other technology-related items are the online payment solution, which provides a one-stop shop portal to improve our customer service experience when making payments. What that will do is we'll have one site where everybody can go, depending on what, it doesn't matter what operation it is or what payment it's for throughout the city. You'll go to one website and to make that payment, which will be a huge improvement from a customer service standpoint. Also, the e-procurement solution is an online solution for handling solicitations, committee evaluations, and contract management for our procurement staff. This will make us much more efficient. And lastly, we are requesting a customer service representative in our IT department to help with the growing number of internal clients that we have through the city to help with their computer hardware and software needs. With that, we'll take any questions that you may have.
Council? I have a question about the studio broadcast equipment. I know that it consistently becomes antiquated, and it's difficult to even know what the future of a TV channel is going to be. And so I'd like to know if our equipment is going to position us for the future, or if that's even possible with television these days.
Technology. Good evening, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor, Council. That's an excellent question. And in fact, we just recently went through a comprehensive evaluation with a consultant to determine what equipment needs we're going to have immediately versus what we would need in the future. And right now, we are looking at replacing aging equipment that is about 10 to 15 years old. So it has been kind of a piecemealed approach until we kind of figure out, because technology is evolving. We've gone from standard definition to high definition. And at this point, we're just replacing equipment that is either failing or just not operating efficiently. Just as we did, for example, the switcher recently that literally burned up. So I think at this point, the request we made is to replace the equipment that absolutely needs, in order for the station to function effectively and to be on air and to function properly, we are just fixing the equipment that absolutely needs it, but we will have to have a further conversation at some point about what we would like to do, because it is an expensive investment, and there's a lot of equipment that will have to be looked at. So.
And I completely agree with that, and I wonder if we can put a placeholder in here for some kind of a study that's going to tell us what we need to know in order to get to the next level, or what that next level might be.
Yes.
I'm not sure that we actually know at this point.
And I'm happy to share the recent study that was conducted, which actually indicates that, and it is broken into kind of an immediate, near future. I mean, it has actually, happy to share great information about how we should approach this.
Oh, okay, so you already have that.
Yes,
So I can expect it in future budgets.
absolutely.
Good.
Yes, Mayor. Correct, Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor and Council, and what we'll do is we'll talk and coordinate, but that's certainly an item that we can bring back in a study session item, even if it's a brief. I'm happy to give you the summary of that.
Good, thank you. Okay, I think we can move on.
Okay, I will be talking a little bit about some of our development services areas in the city, which includes our planning and community development, our engineering and development services, as well as our economic development department. So I'll start with planning and community development and let you know that the planning and community development department consists, and this is on page 235. The Planning and Community Development Department consists of 12 FTEs within 2 divisions, supporting department administration and the community and strategic planning. Department is led by our planning and community development director, Chris Hawkes. And as you may recall, this department, with the reorganization over the last year, the community assistance division was transferred to the Neighborhood and Human Services, the new Neighborhood and Human Services Department under Chris Hallett. So that's where some of the changes have occurred. The department's budget is just under $2 million, and about 70% of that supports personnel-related costs, while 29% is contractual. That's typical in a planning-type function, where the majority of it is the work that the planners are doing. The department is funded through the general fund, but there are a significant portion of their costs that are offset with fees related to development review services that they provide. The department is small, but it has wide reach in 3 primary functional areas, which include strategic planning, which is preparing and implementing the general plan, managing the regional initiatives and implementing approved plans, furthering strategic annexations that support the city's long-term goals, and open space preservation and activities. It also is responsible for historic preservation, such as protecting and promoting of the cultural and historic resources in the city, and identifying and placing key cultural and historic sites on local and national registers. And they're also responsible for development review, which includes administering the city's zoning ordinance, design review guidelines, development review, and entitlements. This department also serves as advisory staff to a number of boards and commissions, including the Planning and Zoning Commission, the Board of Adjustment, the Historic Preservation Commission, and the Design Review Board. This year, the department is requesting some one-time funding to support the 2020 census outreach and promotion. The Planning and Community Development Department, along with the Office of Communications, will work with our Neighborhood and Human Services Department, the City Manager's Office, MAG, and our local community and faith-based leaders to promote awareness for the census. They will be responsible for staffing the task force that is going to identify the recommendations for the composition of our Complete Count Committee, which will be heavily involved over the next year and up to Census Day. It's an extremely important endeavor in the sense that it determines the apportionment of representatives for our area, as well as our redistricting, our state shared revenues, our federal funds, all of those things. And in addition, each person that is counted is about $1,900, a little over $1,900 for Peoria. But even beyond that, this is the first time this year where people will be able to respond to the census online, by mail, and by phone. So this is the first time the census is going out and doing that. So there's a lot of coordination and different coordination than what we've had in the past. The amount recommended covers both our proportionate share as we work with the region to support the census efforts, as well as some funding for local efforts on our part as we work with our Complete Count Committee and really use those influencers in the community to help us ensure we get an accurate count. The second recommendation is for
Excuse
professional.
me, Katie, can I ask you a question about the census?
Sure.
You mentioned all of those new methods, but you didn't mention people knocking on doors.
Right. I believe that there is still going to be that effort, but that the primary effort is going to be through online mail and phone, but that you'll still have census counters, especially in areas where we're not getting a count. Is that correct, Mr. Hawkins?
So they're going to try
Yeah.
those other methods first, and then if they can't reach them, then they'll go out in person, do you think?
Just come on down.
Come on down.
Mayor, Council, great question. Yes, so the primary outreach will be, as we indicated, through online methods, telephone and so forth. But yes, for those areas that we have a hard, there seems to be a difficult time in getting responses, it'll be door to door, as per the past.
Oh, okay, so it'll be just like it has been in the past.
Correct. With the big change is this is the first year, of course, where you can respond through online means.
Okay. Interesting to see how that works out. Thank you. And if there's anything that we can do as a body or individually to help with the census count, we are there for you, whatever you need for us. I know that it's really, really important for us to get a good count.
Yes.
Okay, the second item is for professional services for various development activities, such as funding the development of legal descriptions for the state land annexations that we are working for, various appraisals for potential land acquisitions, such as maybe for open space or other items, an economic impact analysis on special development cases, if those do come up and we need some additional support on economic impact analysis, as well as our historic preservation activities, which this year we are looking at the jail, trying to get that on the National Register, and there are other historic survey updates that we may want to do this upcoming year. So with that, I can answer any questions, any other questions, I should say. Okay, then I'll move on to the Development and Engineering Department. This is on page 253 of your book. The Development and Engineering Department includes 68 employees working together to oversee the design and construction of public infrastructure and review and approve the civil and building plans for all private development projects throughout the city. The department is led by our city engineer, Adina Lund, and the total budget of about $9.9 million, and the majority of that supports personnel cost. The department is supported through the general fund. However, just as with planning, most of those costs, or many of those costs, are offset by fees for services for things such as our plan review and inspections. The source of funding also includes some highway user revenue funds, primarily for our traffic management division, and that's distributed through state shared revenues, as Barry mentioned a little bit earlier. The Development and Engineering Department consists of the Department Administration, the Engineering Services and Property Acquisition, which is where we have all of our capital project management for streets, water, wastewater, drainage, and traffic control, and property acquisition management, It also has an architectural services division, which provides the architectural services for the city's capital facilities, such as parks, libraries, public safety buildings, courts, and other public facilities. Our right-of-way inspections, our traffic engineering, our building development, and our site development. It is important to note that all construction that occurs within the city at some point funnels through the Development and Engineering Department. Last year, we permitted 1,271 new homes, 183 new multifamily units, 43 new commercial buildings, 124 commercial tenant improvements, and 1,041 solar projects. So in keeping with our customer service focus, engineering and IT staff has also worked to convert most of the engineering plan submittals into an optional online process, providing an easier way for folks to submit their plans, reduce paper submittals, and reduce the need for people to have to come to City Hall. Also, over the past year, the engineering standards were updated in close collaboration with all the various city departments and the private sector. And later this year, we're looking to update the building codes in a similar way. The department has excellent relationships with other agencies, which is evidenced through our partnerships with the Maricopa Department of Transportation, the Flood Control District, MAG, ADOT, and many of our utility companies. And staff continues to work closely with all departments within the city, especially with our Planning and Economic Development Department, as we're trying to foster the type of development and economic development that this council has given us direction towards. Over the past several years, we have recommended the use of contract employees to supplement existing staff in areas that are susceptible to economic downturn. These have been extremely important positions, and they have helped maintain our service standards in those areas. We recommend that we continue to do this practice and and additionally, we're asking this year to add a contract building inspector to assist with our increased number of new subdivisions and housing units coming online. And these contract positions are typically offset, all of these are offset with development fee revenues that we receive. So as people come in and get their permits or plan review, those revenues are offsetting the cost of these positions. We're also asking to add a contract administrative assistant to assist with customer service, filing, real estate transaction, administrative duties, and some overall department support, as well as some recommended modifications to our permit counter to assist with our cashiering functions and provide adequate sight lines to each of the building's entrances. And with that, I can answer any questions or have Adina answer any questions regarding engineering and development services. Okay, I'll move on to our economic development services. This is starting on page 277 in your book. This department includes 7 FTE who are responsible for implementing the strategies that promote the attraction of targeted industries, help our existing businesses grow and expand, help facilitate development opportunities in our targeted investment zones, develop a strong workforce, and foster growth in the city's entrepreneurial base. This department is led by our Economic Development Services Director, Rick Buss. There is a department budget of $4.8 million, and it's split 54% supporting personnel-related costs and 45% supporting contractual services such as advertising, community promotions, prospect trips for business attraction, and funding services such as the small business development services and land development services. Funding for the department comes from the half-cent sales tax fund. And as we shared with you in the livability study session, economic competitiveness is all about promoting and building our city to be known as being world-class, sustainable, and a future-ready community. This is achieved through building strong relationships, providing excellent customer service, and utilizing a proactive outreach strategy. And to that end, the recommended budget presents a slight pivot in our approach and focuses greater emphasis on outreach and promotion of the city. This department is also staffs the Economic Development Advisory Board, which is a group of very highly energetic and motivated ambassadors who are helping to promote the city as well. This year, we are recommending one-time funding for targeted market and business attraction. This outreach strategy does specifically develop the relationships we have with key targeted companies and defined key targeted industries in targeted markets, right? So all of those are important elements to this. And this is done through our C2B strategy, but that's our city to business strategy, where we meet face-to-face with leads and prospects and actively reach out to bring the best of the best to Peoria. This strategy will build industry clusters that create head of household employment. It also leads with an ROI approach, focusing on proactive and aggressive outreach efforts to yield results that then significantly raise the profile of Peoria, both locally, regionally, nationally, and globally. Similarly, we continue to reach out to our great businesses that are here in the city and that are already inculcated, and to support them and help them grow. Our Peoria Business Services ecosystem includes programs such as our Peoria Forward, our Small Business Development Center, and 1 Million Cups. And through our enhanced customer service efforts, such as our concierge program, we are furthering our reputation as Peoria being a great place to do business. And we're also requesting some funding for economic development or economic impact studies, which are for opportunities that are tied to a specific locate. Much of our efforts are to go out and bring locates to the city. There's typically many data needs, although we are doing much more using our partners to get a lot of our support for those data needs, such as with MAG, GPEC, and the ACA. And just to give you a sense, currently we're evaluating over $700 million in CapEx dollars and nearly 2,300 net new jobs that are in our lead and prospect pipeline. And our economic competitiveness strategy is already showing some very positive results. So with that, I can answer any questions.
I just have a comment about economic development. I mean, we're doing an incredible amount of things with 7 FTEs, and I just want to make sure that we are consistently watching this department to make sure that we're giving them enough support, because what they have to offer can change who we are as a city and can allow our citizens to stay home and work in the place where they live and not have to travel to Phoenix or Chandler or Tempe. And that changes the lives of our residents. And I know that that's something that our residents want. So this is a really critical department, and I appreciate all the work that they're doing and the successful way that they're doing it, but I just want to make sure that we're continually supporting them.
I think that's a very important point, Mayor, and just to that end, this is the baseline budget for the department, and certainly as we go along, and we don't always know what's coming around the corner, and when it does, there may be needs for us to come back to council and request some additional funding if we're finding that we need to do more due diligence, or there are some things that are coming that we need some additional funding for. So you perhaps would see those throughout the year.
All right, thank you. I think we're good. Thanks.
Any other questions?
No further questions.
Okay, hi, Mayor and Council. I'm going to take the pages from 303 to 491, so I get the Herman Melville portion of the presentation this afternoon. So I'm going to talk a little bit about operations, and you'll see that covers parks, recreation, community facilities, neighborhood and human services, our Public Works Department, and our Water Services Department. So the first slide we have for you, if you will, is Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities, and this begins on page actually, I think, is it 235 or 303? I think it's 303, so somehow the wrong number. I apologize for that. As you recall, a little earlier this year, we took a really, really deep dive into that department, its key functions, talked a lot about the philosophy, the fee policy that goes behind how we capture revenues for programs and services that we provide. When you look at this pie chart here, you'll see a budget request amount of almost $27 million. About $6 million of that's going to be reflected through revenue generation through the rentals of fields, charges that we assign to individuals that use the recreation center, Ramada rentals, and so on. So we do recover a little, just a hair under a quarter of what we're asking for. I want to just call that out. The department consists of 130 full-time employees and 192 part-time contractual employees. That's important to remember. So we've got a good, stable core of employees, but we also have a lot of seasonal programs and services that we provide. And we do have a pretty hefty need to go out and find individuals that can help us out during those periodic seasonal activities. Examples of that would include a lot of our sports and aquatics programs. They run certain parts of the year, so we oversee that. The department also oversees the library services, and that's very important. You recall last fall, you looked at kind of a strategic plan. If money were no objective, how would we accomplish library services for all? And we had a very rich discussion on that. We do operate the two, the Main and the Sunrise Mountain Library. There's about 572,000 patrons that frequent those two libraries, so they're heavily trafficked, heavily visited, as we shared with you. The other unique thing about the Peoria library system is that it's also internet-based, so you can access, as long as you have a library card, you can access the service digitally as well, check out books, download programs, and so on. One of the other items that we do in the department that's very important are sports facilities. We oversee sports facilities, the Rio Vista Recreation Center, the sports complex, our community parks. We have 34 different neighborhood parks throughout the city. We, believe it or not, we are up to now 27 miles of river trails, bike lanes, and so on that pepper the city throughout. So it's a very, very robust system. And we also are responsible for rights-of-way maintenance, and that would include a lot of the city streets, the boulevard areas that you see, and a lot of the retention areas. Finally, we did a little restructuring last year. Katie alluded to it in her comments. And one of the things that we brought over from the police department was our park rangers. And what better place to put them than in Parks and Recreation? So we have a park ranger unit division. We have 6 currently, and through the budget ask you'll see in the next slide, we're seeking 2 more, and that's going to be related to Paloma Park and the other growth that's occurring in the department. Primary goals, we want to deliver excellent program services, facilities, and events. We want top-notch, and I think you may recall the conversation earlier this year where visiting teams seek out Peoria athletic fields and our complexes because of the quality of the programming, and that's also reflected in the way our residents access those as well. So we want top-notch, and we're very, very proud about that. We want to operate very efficiently and do it so with maximum oversight. So we care very much about the bottom line, so we're always looking at our operations, and that's very important to us. And finally, it goes without saying, excellent customer service. It's a value of the city. It's a livability goal. We want superior service in the city of Peoria, and we strive for that at every step of the way. To accomplish this, you'll see in the slide, we're seeking a little over $27 million, and that includes the base and the supplemental portions of it. We are seeking that through the general fund and then also some revenue offsets that I discussed earlier. You'll notice in kind of the left-hand corner of your screen a little icon there. It says CAPRA. That means that our Parks and Recreation and Community Facilities Department is nationally accredited, and that's high honor. That means we are best practices in what we do, and others seek us out for professional advice and information on how we accomplish what we do. The pie chart, you'll see that we are people-driven. It's almost 50% in people costs. We are all about direct line services to our residents and our visitors. And then you'll see the contractual portion of it, about 43% of that. And we do have to keep our fields green. We have to pay for electricity for our facilities. We contract out for our rights-of-way maintenance and our park mowing. That adds up, and that's why that particular piece of the pie is so large. Shifting gears here, these are kind of the notable asks for the year. In total, it's a little over $2 million in new ongoing operating funds and about $385 in one-time funds. That's what all this reflects in the detail in your budget books here. The majority of what we're seeking this year is going to go to staffing and the O&M costs, operations and maintenance costs of the new Paloma Park. We have 8 staff members that we're going to bring on board. all the way from irrigation techs to park rangers to those that will go out and fix things in the park, supervise that. And that's going to have a very positive impact, not only for that park when it's up and running, but for the department as a whole. It's going to help us immensely, and we're very much looking forward to that. And Katie talked about that in her discussion when she was speaking to the engineering department. When we go through and we budget items in the capital budget, one of the things we do is we look at the operational impact. And this is testimony to foresight and planning. So it's placed in here, and we're seeking that amount of money for those services. The other piece that we're doing too, the CIP, we're also, I think earlier this week, actually, you had a presentation by Ms. Lund on the new auto district. And it's beautiful, it's a great thing we're doing it, but there are some O&M costs to that. So in addition to the Paloma Park piece, there's other CIP projects that have an ongoing maintenance impact that typically is shifted towards our way with respect to rights-of-way. So we're asking for funding to cover those natural, the development that we're seeing there. With our strong economy, the cost to provide certain programs has also increased. And to this end, we're seeking additional funds for state-mandated wages. I mentioned earlier, a lot of what we do is we outsource. We have to bring folks in temporarily on a contractual basis. The voters of Arizona, through something called Proposition 206, approved a series of increases to the minimum wage. That absolutely has an impact on our temporary labor staff. We are required, and we very much want to pay the prevailing wage. That's gone up this year, so we're seeking some capacity to address those issues. Additionally, we have some slight utility increases in our pools. We want to make sure we can cover the energy expenses there. It would also include natural gas, that type of thing. If you keep looking at the slide here, one of the things that we're really excited about, and this is, I apologize, is really into the grass blades, the weeds, is the third from the bottom, the irrigation system efficiencies. Over the last year, we conducted a review of our irrigation practices, and we identified opportunities to use technology to improve our watering in certain parks, and also have more of a telemetry type operation set up where we don't have to go out and manually adjust irrigation clocks. We can do it from the confines of a computer or even a smartphone. So we're asking for some funds to implement our smart irrigation practices, and that is the irrigation system efficiencies. The last couple items that we're seeking, the library, believe it or not, one of the smaller requests in here is the library system is celebrating its 100th birthday coming up here soon. And there's a small request for funds to help celebrate that and invite the public and set that up. But more importantly, one of the things we regularly do in the library is we have to look at our collections development. That's very, very important. I mentioned earlier that we have almost 572,000 patrons that go in, check books off the shelves, take them home. They get stained, they get beat up, and we have to weed through those every now and then, and we have to replace those. We also have to go out and buy new books, and we're seeking, I believe it's $100,000 in supplemental funds to kind of refresh that, make sure we have good reading materials for Peoria residents. And kind of lastly, the sports complex, we're seeking funds in that area to maintain our security in that area. The neat thing about that, it's requirements from the Major League Baseball. We partner with the San Diego Padres and Seattle Mariners to make that happen. That's offset by the sinking fund that we have set up for the stadium and the teams there. That, in a nutshell, is a high-level summary of the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department. And if you have any questions, if you need any explanation on anything, I'm more than happy to answer those.
Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. So you talked about, we're hearing a lot about contract employees, and if I understood you correctly, some of those contract employees are in customer service positions, direct contact with the public. Do they go through the same, how does that work, melding them into our family, our Peoria family of employees? Do they go through the same training process and background checks if they're exposed to, kids or any of those groups? How does that work?
So real quickly, I'll address the AM/PM portion of it. It's actually in the neighborhood human
Okay.
services portion, and the answer is yes. There's a
yes.
really intense background check for individuals that work with youth. But John, our Parks and Recreation Director, Mr. Sefton, will talk about the direct contact.
Okay.
So good evening, Mayor and Council. Vice Mayor, great question. I want to add a little bit of clarity to how the phrase was positioned, contract employee versus contractors. All of our employees that are part-time, non-benefited, which is where I believe Mr. Strunk was referencing, that 190 or so that we have on the rolls, they are city employees. They are under our command and control, if you will. If you're speaking of our contracts that we have, for example, our maintenance teams that might be in the right-of-ways or other areas, they are under independent control, if you will. They perform the service for us, and so they're slightly different. Does that help clarify on that?
It does.
And so all of those customer service positions, the ones out on the sports fields, the ones that are part-time, non-benefited, we can't do Parks and Recreation without them. The lifeguards, they are under our training systems, they're under our ADP, so they are truly employees of the city and with all our training and support.
Thank you.
Councilmember Edwards?
Thank you, Mayor. Eric, question for you. On page 327, you're talking about the central irrigation efficiency. So this $188,000, is that to retrofit all of our parks, or is this just one particular park, or is this a study of a series of parks? It doesn't clarify if it's citywide or if it's just one or two individual parks.
Sure,
Mayor?
John, would you?
Excellent. Thank you, Mayor, Council Member. This is a continuation of our investment in the sustainable water practices. So this equipment helps us to get to a further phase, and obviously with an investment of this size, it brings all of the individual parks where we have the technology installed together. So it is adding on to what we currently have in the inventory. It brings an upgrade to some, as we talked earlier about software. Software technology gets old. Well, it's time to do some upgrades, and that's a significant portion of this request as well. So it's very timely and very appropriate and very much a next step. There's no one fix everything everywhere, so it is always a process, so.
How far in the future would you see us getting to the point where we're getting closer to getting all of our parks under this system? Because with the federal mandate of water conservation, everything else, we're going to be looking at that more closely. And so, the sooner we can get there, the more savings we can have on our residents for water usage.
Thank you, and yes, I think that it's an ongoing process. There's no destination, it's a ride. Water conservation, it really is. We're not going to jump off the bus. We've committed, and your leadership helps us get there. I'm very proud of our staff. They have an eye for the detail when it comes to the programming and the technology, the latest and the greatest. Just last year, we spent some good resource in understanding the water infrastructure. A couple of neighborhood parks are going to be underway for a renovation in the irrigation system. You can't see it, but if it's not sized or designed properly, it's not watering efficiently. So that's something that our team has the expertise, and I'm very proud of them and the work that we're doing. And so we're not gonna stop. It's gonna be something that's gonna consistently be a part of the parks budget and the budget requests and the budget initiatives.
Good to hear. Just one more
If
question.
I may, also, just Councilmember to clarify, so some of the items included in there, the irrigation controller changes and such, that'll be for all 34 parks, though, to get to Councilmember Edwards' question. So I believe that the investment in here does address improvements in the controllers for all the parks, is that?
I'd have to double check
Yeah,
on
I
that
think-
for you, Jeff.
Gotcha.
As far as, I hate to
think
make a
it's-
promise that I wouldn't necessarily, because some of the equipment already exists.
Gotcha, thank
So
you.
it's complementary with this. It's taking us to a next level, and it's a sizable investment, and it's certainly a priority for the
Thanks, John.
department.
Okay, thank you. Second question is, just in the overall budget, Looking at, you mentioned that we're bringing on the Meadows Park in 2020, correct? And just looking at the number of full-time employees, it looks like we're actually going down by 1 employee in 2020 as far as worker 1 and worker 3s. And so my question is, with the additional new park coming on and the comment that I've made for a couple of years now that I still feel that we don't have enough people in our parks maintaining them to the level that our residents are expecting, how do you expect to maintain a new park coming online and keep up with the demands of the existing parks?
So this has been a multi-year approach as well. We have streamlined our supervision and the structure of the maintenance department under the management of Jake Eason and now having TJ Winzeller and the others on board. The FTE count with this addition for the plan, we're also introducing the concept, and we have had out and are reviewing some tasks to be put under contract. And so this balance of using contract outside labor and inside labor to support the landscape effectiveness, if you will, or the maintenance or the effectiveness of the maintenance of the landscape is the approach. So while it's, yes, 8 more acres into the addition, the resource is being expanded through the approach of contract labor in certain areas, similar to how we have the right-of-way contractors utilizing. So it's leveraging those outside resources. And one of the ways that we can do this is in essence, saving on the equipment that's necessary for purchasing as well. So we seek to find efficiencies in all of that daily management. And it is something that we'll continue to monitor in how we utilize. Another of the strategies that we've adjusted are, you mentioned park worker 1s and 2s and 3s. So having that array, the entry-level park worker 1 who might promote to a 2 to promote to a 3, having the 3s take on broader levels of responsibility and more technical in their responsibilities. So it's a diversification, but then an addition, and the seek is efficiencies.
My only comment would be, and it's great that you're looking to different ways to make that happen. I'm all in favor of that. I'm careful with going out to subcontractors because we've run into this in the past where we've had mids out there on our open space and our retention basins where we thought that our contractors were doing the job that they were getting paid for. In reality, they weren't, and so the checks and balances wasn't there. You guys have definitely tightened up that process over the last year, and I just hope that, keep tightening it so that if we're gonna put more onus on contractors to do this work, that we're definitely following up with them to make sure they're doing the quality work they're getting paid to do.
Absolutely, we hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, and Mayor and Councilmember, just to reassure you, with the additional staff that we're bringing on board, contract management, we know that's important to us. And we want to make sure that if there's a concern about any park or any trail or any facility, we just right on. So we will be watching that. And just kind of a last quick editorial comment. John and Chris and the maintenance crews have been spending a lot of time reorganizing and restructuring to address some of the concerns that had come up over the past year. You'll not only see that in the way the divisions are structured, but the additional staffing that we have. And then also, we are still yet to award a request for proposal for landscape maintenance in our parks and our rights-of-way, and that's going to be reflected in that as well. So we feel very strongly it'll be a complete package. But we hear you loud and clear on that.
That's all, thank you.
Okay. And we do have 8 additional park employees coming on to take care of the new parks that we have.
Yep, and Mayor, too, if you look at Meadows Park, we have operating money for that park as well, and we have funds in there for a half-time person to make sure that we pick up those responsibilities as well. So we plan for it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, well, we'll kind of move on here if you're good with Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities.
I think
All
we're
right.
good.
Super. All right, we're going to move on to another, a new department for the city of Glendale, or Glendale. All right.
You did it.
I could have done that at the worst possible time. City of Peoria, we'll edit that out. We'll see how well Jen's technology works.
Wait till his retirement.
Oh, no. It might be tomorrow after that, so. So Mayor and Council, Neighborhood and Human Services, all great cities acknowledge and celebrate their neighborhoods and those who contribute to the uniqueness and sense of place within those neighborhoods. It's just very important. And early on, one of the actions that you asked us to really look at strongly was, hey, can we take the resources we have and potentially create a new approach, a new endeavor towards engaging our neighborhoods and our citizens and really inviting them to be a part of what we do day in and day out in the city of Peoria. And through some restructuring we did last year, we've accomplished that. We've got a great team in place. And if you have questions, you're going to get to meet Mr. Howitt tonight. Putting that vision into practice has been something that both he and his team have been working on very, very robustly. The other component of that is you've adopted the healthy neighborhoods element of your livability goals. So that, plus the adoption of that, it's a great signal to the community of Peoria that we welcome neighborhoods, we want to work in neighborhoods, and what you're going to see through the asks here reflect that. The Neighborhood and Human Services Department consists of a little over 44 full-time staff, and like Parks, Recreation, and Community Services, it has temporary contractual staff as well, and that's about 127. And those 127 individuals will basically focus in on providing services at our AM and PM programs. And those are dispersed throughout the city of Peoria, and they are dispersed through the solid relationship that we have with the Peoria Unified School District. We're very proud of that, and it's a mainstay now in this city. The youth programs, in addition to the AM and PIA programs, the Neighborhood and Human Services Department oversees the Youth Advisory Board. It has liaison duties to that, helps shape the agendas and mentor the members of that board to look at youth issues in Peoria and study those, advise, and recommend actions even on those. The other neat thing about that group, real quickly, is we, over the last year, have taken a lot of items to them to get their feedback on. What should placemaking be, and how should we do certain functions? What should the general plan look like? We want their feedback. They are an important part of our community. And we also work with the special liaison to the council, the two members of that. In addition, we oversee the community center. I won't go so much into that because we just heard about all the neat things going on at the community center, but that is under Neighborhood and Human Services as well. An item we're very proud about is special events and arts and culture. It is a very important division of the Neighborhood and Human Services Department. And as you saw, about this time last year, we did a pretty deep dive on the arts culture master plan for the city. And then a little later, last fall, we talked about special events. And in a nutshell, we are reconfiguring, as we indicated to you, and want to get more and more involved with neighborhood-centric type events. It's all about community, but the more we can honor and acknowledge and celebrate our neighborhoods through our special events division, the better off we're going to be. The other pieces too, you heard this week as well, code enforcement is big. We had 5,611 cases last year, and less than, I believe, 2% had to go to court, so 98% were voluntary complied with. It's very important to the health index of our community and our neighborhoods. We want an active, viable, functional code compliance department. And probably one of the more important pieces is human services. Each year, that group, through Karen Eimig and her team, they administer a little over $1 million in federal funds, and they really are the stalwarts for social and human services in the city of Peoria. And there's a lot more to come that you're going to see in the next slide when we talk about the asks for next year. If you look at the pie chart, again, we're about people, so a good chunk of that is personnel, salaries for personnel, and then we do contract out a lot of our programs and services by through temporary agreements, employment agreements with those that can provide our AMPM programs and so on. The next slide, this department is seeking, asking for 1.6 million in one-time funds and a little over 460,000 in ongoing funds. And some of the highlights wanted to share with you. We are asking for operational funds for the new community resource center at the community center. So what we're basically asking for there is we need to supply it. And we're going to have a need for brochures. The book that we do, the Community Resources Guide, is a huge hit. And we give those out like candy. And I'm not making that up. That literally, there's a high need to continue that endeavor on. So a lot of media, flyers, brochures is very important that we have there for that function. We are also asking for funding to address the homeless issue in Peoria. It's been of concern, of note to a lot of individuals, our police department, a lot of our city departments, to you, some of our citizens. And one of the asks we have this year are one-time funds for a homeless outreach liaison, somebody that, through a nonprofit that specializes in homeless service prevention and intervention, can work side by side with staff and actually go out and connect with homeless persons, almost a caseworker, if you will, that will go, regardless of where the individual may be geographically in Peoria, will go meet, have the conversation, and really work with that individual to see if we can't get that person into an assisted program. Kind of hat in hand with that, we are also seeking funding, one-time funding, to see how it kind of works out for a emergency shelter night program. And what we're hoping to do is we want to buy beds at a homeless shelter, and we're looking at a couple, one on the west side and one in Central Phoenix. And if you approve that, it's going to be about 2,640 bed nights per year. That we'll be able to provide. That's a big number, but in reality, when you look at the length of time a homeless person can stay in a shelter, it could be up to 40, 44 days. So at any one given point in time, it's about 5 homeless persons. It may not answer the complete, it may not be the complete answer, but it's a start, and we want to see how that goes. So we're looking forward to trying that, and we're hoping that you approve that in the budget this year. The other piece we're asking for is, again, we're asking for the supplemental funds for arts grants, public outreach. We do that each year. It's discretionary, so we go through the supplemental process. So the Shakespeare in the Park, a lot of the activities you see, Somos, Peoria, and so on, falls into that category. So we're seeking a renewal of those from you in this year's budget. We're very excited about our neighborhood grants program. You'll remember that a year ago we kind of deferred it for a year so we could build the new community resource center. We're going to open that at the end of June, and we want to reactivate the neighborhood grants program. And that's a really neat program where neighborhoods obviously will get together, identify potential projects that they can work on. They'll match dollar for dollar, sweat equity, and it's a real great opportunity to wed what the city does with the community. So we're asking for that as well. A couple other pieces we're asking for. You'll see we've got property abatement. We're asking for $50,000 again this year to help us for those properties that, if we can't get voluntary compliance and resolution and they are causing a blight or there are structural issues, we want to be able to, we just need to go in and clean those up. That's the very last step of a very lengthy process, but having that resource will help us keep preserve our neighborhoods. So we're asking you for that. A couple other pieces. We've got enhanced special events. So what that really is again, it's the request for the routine events that you've seen, but we're asking for something a little extra this year, and you'll see it in the detail. We're asking for a couple $100,000 to do a signature event. And what we did last year at this time, you may recall that you provided us with a little bit of study money to go out and hire a contractor to take a good hard look at Peoria and come back with some ideas on what would be a signature event, what would be unique to Peoria, what would be unique to those to drive them here from a tourism standpoint, to turn them on, if you will, to the community? And we just kind of awarded that recently, so it has taken a little bit of time, but we're looking for about an 8-week turnaround on the results. So you're going to see further recommendation of that, and hopefully you're going to see it before you take the break for the summer. We want to do that in short order. That will then, depending on your decision, help drive, if you approve it, the use of $200,000 one-time monies for a marquee event. So we're very much looking forward to that. And then finally, I mentioned earlier, we've had a lot of good success in working with the Peoria Unified School District on AMPM sites. We do in kind of Old Town Boarding, Old Town Peoria, we do have a new charter school coming in, the Academy of Math and Science. And they are extremely interested in the success of the AMPM program in the school district. They have had conversation with our staff, and we'd like to try, and we're asking for appropriation amount to cite an AMPM program at that charter school. So it's a little different, it's new. The world of education is changing a little bit. We're trying to stay in step with that, so we're asking for your approval to do that. All the students would come from the area. We wouldn't want to compete. It would be revenue self-sustaining. So those that sign up for it would basically pay for the service, but we need the appropriation. That, in a nutshell, are the highlights of the Neighborhood and Human Services budget, and be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Councilmember Padilla.
Thank you, Mayor. So Eric, quick question. On your neighborhood grant funding, do those funds primarily go to HOA neighborhoods? And if so, is there a way that non-HOA neighborhoods could qualify for those grants as well?
Mayor, Councilmember Patena, the answer is, of course, yes. They can go to both.
Okay.
Neighborhoods are neighborhoods, and we are looking at that program. We're kind of slashing a few T's, dotting a few I's on it to get it ready for the upcoming year. Chris can dive in deeper if you have additional questions, but we want to engage neighborhoods, so whether they're HOA or traditional neighborhoods, they would be open to participate.
I think my only question is, it's typically easier for HOA neighborhoods to try to get grant funding because they have presidents, vice presidents of their HOAs. But a non-HOA neighborhood doesn't necessarily have that. So how would you approve a non-HOA grant? Would just a resident have to come in and apply for it or fill out an application? Or would it be a number of residents collectively that would have to come in and apply?
Mayor, Councilmember Patena, one of the major efforts that we're going to do as a new department this year is really that engagement piece throughout Peoria, but specifically in the areas that are not already organized through a homeowners association. So we're looking to create that capacity within those neighborhoods, develop some neighborhood associations in the non-traditional HOA areas, and provide some training, some leadership training, and that capacity where they'll have a primary, secondary. Hopefully they're meeting on a regular basis. We look to expand our HOA training to be more of a traditional neighborhood training. A lot of it is geared towards the HOA rules and regulations, but really it's about connecting all of Peoria residents to available city resources. So we would definitely want to target, and in fact, we even talked about possibly of this allocation setting aside some specifically for non-HOA areas and work towards that capacity.
Council, anyone else? I would like to just make some comments regarding the homeless intervention. I'm really pleased that we're adding another person in this area. I think across the entire valley, state, maybe even nation, the homeless population has increased tremendously. And now with the ruling from the Ninth Circuit Court that says you cannot ask homeless people to leave unless you can provide another location for them, a home for them. That is one of the reasons why we have to now buy the beds. But I think that that's a great idea, and having the person on board who is going to be getting to know who these people are and finding out with some level of compassion and empathy what they need, and and matching them up with organizations that we know exist for that very purpose. I think it is a really beneficial thing to do for the homeless population that we are getting, that other cities are getting in the West Valley. And it's just a really great, it just speaks to who we are as a city. I mean, we want to be able to take care of those people in a compassionate way. And I hope that this can make big progress, you know, along those lines. So thank you for your efforts in getting this in place. I appreciate it. Yes, Vice Mayor.
To that same point, thank you, Mayor. Will this particular position, gosh, what is it? The position that's going to be doing this, the outreach? The navigator, thank you. Will this position be working with PD as part of that effort? Will there be a partnership there?
Yeah.
And I know there's one-time funds, which I'm really excited about this too. I think this is great. And then our mechanism for measuring how effective this is or isn't, because obviously we'll want to be planning for next year and then working with our neighboring cities to make sure the work we're doing is complementing what they're doing and, you know.
Not just
all that.
moving the problem.
Yes.
Yeah, so Mayor and Councilmember, Vice Mayor Binsbacher, yes, absolutely. And I don't want to steal Chris's thunder. It's a contract with an agency that provides the services, so it won't be actually, it'll be a person that is assigned to our area. So it won't be a 40-hour-a-week type position. It will be someone that can go out at different hours of the day based on the need and time of where the homeless person may be and connect in that way. So it won't actually be a staff person, it'll be a contract with a service provider.
Okay.
And I think as we get a little closer, if this goes through, we'd probably love to come back to you and get you specific detail information, because it's probably one of those items that your constituents are going to have a lot of questions about. Who do we call and how long does it take? And we really would probably be good off doing that. So I don't know, Chris, if you want to add anything else.
Yes, Mayor, Vice Mayor, absolutely. We already work closely with the police department. What this contract employee would be able to do, it would really relieve a lot of what police is already spending in a social work environment. And they're doing a fantastic job, but it's very taxing, and it takes a team of two that could otherwise be complementary, doing a whole much more. So we really think this will be a complementary addition to the team. We're broadening the team to include all the public safety, fire services. In addition, we're working very collaboratively with all our West Valley cities. We want to have a cooperative agreement with those who have similar. In fact, we'd like to piggyback, because the whole idea would be we're tracking the human element and not just a number. We want to get to know who they are, have them in a system report, and we know our cities in the West Valley are very intertwined and the borders are close and proximate, and we're working collaboratively with those cities on this effort. So we're not just fortifying one city and another's at a disadvantage. We really want everybody to be on board so we can all benefit from the same efforts that are put forward. So we're very excited about this opportunity. It was a multi-pronged approach because homelessness is a multi-pronged needs. You know, there's shelter bed needs, there's navigation, there's police enforcement, there's public safety, health, and getting them to the resources. So we're really excited to be able to do that. And I think it'd be an excellent idea to come back and give you a more robust approach to the homeless problem.
Looking forward to that. Thank you.
Councilmember Hunt?
Yeah, I want to just add on to that too. This is a really neat thing to do. But I too would like to have more of a study session on it, because I have a lot of questions. I've just had it reported to me that one of my elementary schools has a large number of homeless children, but they're not laying around and they're sleeping in their families' cars, but they are essentially homeless and they go to school that way. So we think of homeless, I do, as the guy with the 400 garbage bags taking up the bus stop area or whatever. And there are so many more that are really secretive that we may not know about. So I just kind of want to have that more presented, that, and the homeless teenagers in the high schools that are couch surfing or whatever. But especially I was thinking the families in the cars, what a great thing to have them be able to go to a place for even 45 days and stay. I think that's what I caught. But again, I just want to know more about it and have some of those details answered. So I look forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mayor, just a teaser, Mr. Howe and myself will be back before you on May 7th to study session, and we're going to talk about neighborhood and human services, so.
Just a teaser,
Just a little
thank you.
teaser, so,
We will be waiting. Thank you.
thanks, Chris. Okay, what we'll do is we'll move on here. We're halfway through the novel, if you will, the Herman Melville.
Yes, excuse me, do you mind if we take a break right now? I don't want to interrupt you, but I think we need a break. There it is.
Super.
I'm going to hit this gavel.
guys are always so coordinated.
All right, I'm going to call this meeting back to order. You can resume.
Thank you, Mayor. We'll move on, and what we're going to talk about now is our Public Works Department. It consists of 169, I call them hardworking men and women. And they do. They really work very difficult conditions. They work on streets. They work in vacant fields. They work at all times, all hours of the year, and it's very much appreciated for the work they do. And just like the Parks and Recreation and Community Facilities Department, in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, you'll see a stamp of accreditation. And I did just a little research. Apparently, we're only one of 5 in the state of Arizona that has that designation. And I believe there's 191 nationally accredited agencies. So again, we value expertise and knowledge in all areas of our public works operation. The division, or the department, consists of our solid waste services division, and those are the individuals that go out day in and day out and pick up our sanitation and recycling products. And last year we had about, or have, and we're growing, about 58,000 residential and commercial accounts that we service. In total, it was about 55,000 tons of refuse and an additional 16,000 tons of recyclable goods that they picked up last year. And that's just a phenomenal amount. And as you know, the city continues to grow and we add customers. So a lot of what you'll see is some growth-related items for the asks. Our streets and storm drain division, that group is responsible for keeping our streets drivable. And they do that primarily through the pavement management program and in general the overall maintenance of our city streets, some of our alleyways. They also do sign installations, the striping, street sweeping, maintenance of our traffic control devices, and storm drain maintenance. That's a big item as well. And that group in particular, just a comment, usually in the monsoon season, kind of the end of June to mid-September, a lot of times that's the group that gets the call out when these storms roll through at different hours. And so they're always out doing the best they can to make sure that our residents are safe and our streets are drivable, and we clear out the damage. One of the other components of Public Works is facilities management. They are responsible for our custodial services. All of the tenant improvements you see, move a wall here, put a door there, cameras there, chillers on buildings, pipes, plumbing. They are responsible for overseeing all of that. And it's a total of 97 different city facilities. So it's throughout Peoria. And it's a pretty formidable task when you think of what goes into a building and keeping it well maintained. So that group is always on the go and working to keep the employees in good conditions, and also make sure that our facilities represent a stamp of pride for our visitors and our residents. It's just very important, and they take great pride in what they do. Finally, one of the things I wanted to talk about is fleet services. We can't do what we do without equipment, cars, vehicles, the police department, dump trucks, that type of thing. There's 704 pieces of equipment that group is responsible for. And if you've never been there, they're located over at our MOC. And just a great group to get to know, and they can really tell you kind of everything you wanted to know about our pieces of equipment, our vehicles. Finally, our transit division. We have worked very hard to define transit services and give transit a sense of purpose in the city of Peoria. And we were very fortunate earlier this year, to bring on a very knowledgeable person that oversees that division. And that group oversees our fixed route services in the city of Peoria and is responsible for making sure that we have a seat at the table at all the regional conversations that take place with regional funding priorities and Maricopa Association of Government requests for information as related to transit. The other neat thing, and you'll hear a lot more about it, and you have heard a lot about it already, is the new circulator route. That's the group that's responsible for overseeing that. And I believe today is the April 4th. And in 18 days, you're going to see a neat new circulator route go into play Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. initially to start. That'll take you from basically 83rd and Paradise area, all the way up to the Four Corners and around clockwise and counterclockwise on a fairly regular basis. So we're very excited about the POGO circulator route, and that group oversees that. Just like a lot of the other departments, this particular department, its impact on the general fund is Barry was saying, is a little more minimal than most. We derive funding in this area from the transportation sales tax, highway user revenue funds from the state of Arizona, our sanitation enterprise funds, and of course our stormwater funds. So the revenue to pay for all these services does come from some different revenue buckets, and I just wanted to point that out. Again, just like what you're hearing over and over again, you'll notice that the personnel costs are a little less than some of the other areas. That's because we contract out so much of what we do. And a lot of what we do is we provide services to the rest of the city in many different ways. So we have to buy a lot of fuel, tires, that type of thing. And that's the commodities portion of it, heavy there. If we move on, some of the asks in this department for the upcoming year. In total, it's $4.6 million in supplemental items. And of this, kind of $1.6 million would stem from our solid waste enterprise fund, $150,000 from the stormwater maintenance fee, a little over $403,000 from highway user revenue funds, $1.2 million from the transit fund, and about $1.2 million from the general fund. So there is a little bit of a tie there, but mostly it's different sources of funding. So for FY20, we talked a little bit about the new Peoria on the Go circulator route. Again, that will start on April 22nd. We are asking for a little under $850,000 to keep that going for the year. We feel very strongly that it's going to be well received by the public. And the bus stop component of that are in the CIP, and Ms. Lund will speak to that Monday night. But obviously, the bus shelter portion of it is very important. The next item, solid waste. We're asking you for an additional residential sanitation refuse driver. We need another driver. On average, every 1,300 new homes, you need a new driver. We've seen about 1,500 new residencies go in, so we need to kind of address that a little bit, so a new driver will help us out there. We're combining some quarter-time positions into a three-quarter-time position. We are asking for another street sweeper operator. I believe we had 6, we went down to 5. This will get us back to where we need to be. And most importantly, and Mr. Burke, our Public Works Director, talked to you about this a little while ago, about something called the China Sword. That is certain countries no longer taking recyclable goods. And we talked a little bit about the importance of having clean waste streams from a recycling standpoint. You kind of need someone to take a peek into the trash cans every now and then, of the recycling bins, to make sure it's clean and progressively inform folks, hey, great job, or hey, we need not to put this in there the next time. So we're asking for a position, a recycling inspector position. That's going to be important for that part of it. Additionally, we need a couple more sanitation vehicles, garbage trucks, if you will. We're asking for 2. That's a little over $700,000. The details in the book you have there. kind of alluded to it during our livability conversation. Mr. Burke talked about new routing software. And that's very important for our sanitation division. That's going to help us respond very quickly to staff shortages, immediate road closures, different needs, callbacks, that type of thing. So we are seeking funding for new routing software. And the other neat thing about it is we're going more and more interactive. So there's going to be the opportunity to let citizens who have sanitation service access and find out where their garbage truck might be, so they can run out, put the trash out, run back in type thing. So that's a good thing. There's value added, and we're pleased about that. A couple of other quick things. Stormwater management is a big deal, particularly keeping those areas where we send stormwater free and clear. So we're asking for some funds to help us out in that area. We've come up a little short historically, and we are seeking funds to make sure we're good there. And then finally, we've got a variety of facility needs that we are seeking funds for. Example, the police department needs new evidence freezer. There's all sorts of routine wear and tear items that occur in our city facilities, so we have to go replace them or contract with someone to go out and do that type of thing. We have a need to replace water heaters and coolers, and we also have been hit up by Prop 206 in our contractual janitorial services, so we're asking for some money in that area there. And then finally, you'll see up on the screen the transit master plan. And that is a $50,000 ask of you one time to allow the transit division to engage our residents to ensure that we are asking for the right things based on the future build-out growth and the here and now of Peoria with respect to transit services. And another reason why that's so important is, I mentioned earlier, the county has a tax that's used to fund the Valley Metro organization, and that will be, if it's not approved or authorized, it would go away in 2025. So we need to get ready for the ask on what's most important to the city of Peoria with respect to transit, and this is going to help us get that answer, and we'll absolutely be back in front of you to share the findings of that. That, in a nutshell, is the Public Works Department budget ask for fiscal year 20, and either myself or Mr. Burke, who's in the audience, be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Council? I just have a couple comments again. First of all, I just want to say that the employees who work in Public Works really are the unsung heroes of our city because of the great job that they do behind the scenes and just making sure that everything is taken care of for our residents. You know, our residents don't have to worry about so many things. You know, it just happens for them. And it is one of the reasons that they can count on their city in every other way, you know, and that they feel like they can trust us. So it's an amazing job that they do, including when we have monsoon storms and I hear about trees being down all over the entire valley. And I know in Peoria, they're cleaned up practically by the next morning. I mean, it's really like little elves come out of the woodwork and take care of it. It's like magic. They're really amazing considering how, you know, all of our trees have very little roots. So I do thank them for the great job that they do. And I also want to call attention to the Transit Master Plan, Prop 500, or the extension of the Prop 400 transportation sales tax, which is going to expire. It's 20 years, will be expiring soon. If we do not get on top of that and decide what Peoria needs, you know, we are going to be left behind. It's really, really critical. It's a huge portion of our revenue, and we need to make sure that our future is accounted for with regards to that. So the Transit Master Plan is really, really important. So I appreciate you getting that taken care of now.
Great.
Those are my comments. Did you have something, Councilmember Hunt?
I do, just real quickly. I really, really believe strongly in recycling, but we've all heard how it's changing, and so I have a couple of questions. Who do we send our recycling to now? Kevin.
Kevin?
And I guess I'll just go ahead and, so you can answer it all at one. Does what we send now in any way pay for the extra burden of like the trucks that just pick up recycling and the whole thing, just in a
Sure.
nutshell?
So thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Hunt. Where we send it is principally the City of Phoenix North Gateway Station. That, you'll remember, we recently entered into an agreement with them to upgrade their materials recovery facilities equipment so that we would have better sorting equipment and therefore get higher purity recycled products that could then be resold on the public market. So most of our material goes that way. Your second question was about the recovery as far as the dollars. At this point, no. We went from a position where we were recovering about $300,000 a year selling those commodities. Now we're in a position where we would be paying $200,000 just for the processing element because the commodity prices have dropped so steeply in that area. So we do recover, but it is, it's just offsetting expenses. It's not taking us into the positive.
Okay. Well, it's still definitely a worthwhile thing. We have
Absolutely.
to do it, but I was just wondering about, for the budget and all of what our recovery was. Do they still send, does China still take any recycling?
They do take some material. It's just been significantly decreased, both the types of products and the volume of products, and just the condition that they're in. So there's other Asian markets that are still buying. However, our domestic markets is really where we're starting to turn and see more activity for some of those products.
Really?
It is. It's slowly but surely, between plastic and even aluminum, we're starting to see more markets opening. Again, not paying much, but at least there's a place to take them.
Well, there are so many retail items now, ladies' purses and things that are being marketed in regular store, like Kohl's, that are made out of recycled grocery bags, the plastic bags. And so I would guess that that's an American thing. Maybe one of the ways that we are recycling our own stuff, which is great.
Slowly but surely, but it is a real challenge. I mean, the market has completely changed. It's a total paradigm shift.
It's still an important thing to do. I'm just sorry we don't kind of at least break even on it.
Pardon me. The one thing I would make sure that you do come away with is that it is still cheaper to recycle than to put it in the landfill.
Yeah. Well, certainly in the long run it is.
That too. But I'm saying just
But it
straight
just
dollars
is
it is.
cheaper, really?
Yes.
Okay,
It's still
that's interesting.
still cheaper.
Are we continuing to update and educate our citizens so they know what they should be recycling and what's changing and how they should be recycling?
Absolutely. We're working on some new materials, both on the website for distribution, through social media, through actual mail, things of that nature. We're getting ready to launch some of those. Part of that is in conjunction with these budget requests of a new inspector and that new tag program where we will be really looking in those barrels, tagging them that, hey, you're doing great, keep doing what you're doing. Hey, you're close, not quite there, knock on the door. Hey, can we help you? Talk about these things really shouldn't be in this barrel, they should be in that barrel. And then unfortunately, if we get to the point where we're having to say, it's just, you got too much contamination in it for us to pick it up in the recycling bin.
That's really interesting.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Great. All right, Mayor, we'll move on to the final chapter of the novel. We're going This one, these are all important presentations tonight. This one is particularly important. Water is the one single commodity that we all need and rely on to stay healthy, not only physically, but in our community as well. And you'll recall that even though we've had a lot of rain and whatnot over the last fall and few months into the winter, it's not enough to get us out of the drought officially. So sure, reservoirs are full and things are looking good in some of the watersheds, but we're not out of the woods yet. It usually takes a couple, 3 years to break that. So many of you recall in January of this year, we had a conversation with you again on our water portfolio. I thought it was a great conversation. And we talked to you a little bit about, there's a possibility of Lake Mead not falling below a certain level that would then trigger some austerity measures for Colorado River water. So we kind of talked through that. Hasn't happened yet. We'll know a little later this year if that occurs, and we're kind of hearing it may not this year. But the important thing is we had the conversation, and Peoria is well prepared should it occur. So basically, as you can see by the slide here, this is another new department that was created. It used to be Public Works Utilities. And a year ago, we kind of picked up on, hey, water services is important. It needs to create its own culture, its own identity. It needs to have its own path. And we did that for a couple of reasons, not only because of the nature of just going out and procuring water and distributing water, but it's also the growth piece that water is so essential to. If we don't have an assured supply of water, you can put the brakes on growth. And fortunately, that's not the case in Peoria. The goals of the department is such, we want to provide the highest quality possible drinking water and wastewater services to our customers. We also want to preserve our investment into our infrastructure. We spend millions and millions and millions of dollars for pipes and plants and generators. And we do that because we want a quality product, and we want reassurance to all those who consume it. But we also need to periodically reinvest into that to make sure it's robust and can maintain the capacities that we have in place. The other piece of it too is the procurement of water sources, and also kind of compliance with environmental considerations. Two kind of different pieces. Going after and getting the water is one thing, but then once we get it and we treat it or we let it go down the sink, we've got to do something with it. And there are a myriad of rules and regulations that we have to comply with: federal, state, county, even local Peoria requirements that we have. To this end, we've got a whole tier of different divisions that help us with that. It's about a $40 million budget, 98 employees. We have 3 treatment facilities, Greenway, Quintero, and we partner with Glendale at the Pyramid Peak treatment facility. That's what I meant to say earlier, so I got ahead of myself. So, but through that, we provide our citizens with a good, solid source of drinking water. We also have to treat it. So we have Butler, Jomax, and Beardsley wastewater treatment facilities. And they ensure that it's processed properly. And we do something unique in Peoria. We re-inject a lot of the water that we treat, and we put it back into the ground, and we are able to draw on that when times get bad. It's like a bank, water banking, and we get credits for it. And that's very, very important. That was a part of our portfolio conversation. The other piece of it is we got to move water, whether it's sewage or it's treated water, drinking water. So we have this massive distribution system. Well, we need crews to help us make sure that if it falls in disrepair, we get out and fix it. If it's an open leak in the street, we got to cut the street open and fix the pipe and pave it. So we're constantly on guard for that. That's a 24-hour-a-day operation, and pipes break whenever. And so we're always at the ready to fix that. Finally, we have an environmental compliance piece that's run by a gentleman named Bob Hollander. And they make sure we are in compliance from a lab standpoint, they test our water, I don't know how many times a day, and they have to report every single time they do it to the Department of Environmental Quality, the Department of Water Resources, so on, the EPA. There's a myriad of agencies to whom they have to report to. We couldn't do this without them. Again, you can see the pie chart, contractual. Most of that you're going to see is electricity. We buy a lot of electricity to process the water. We also have to buy the water, and that's a huge, huge piece of that. So the contractual looks like it's a lot, but in reality, it is a lot. That's what it takes to provide drinking water, fresh drinking water, and remove it from our citizens. So we're asking for a couple of Oh, and by the way, on this one here, on water services, it's an enterprise fund. So the impact on the general fund is extremely minimal. There's a couple, three pieces in there that are funded with general fund money. But by and large, it's tied right back to our rates and what we charge our customers. So it's an enterprise fund, and the majority of this is paid for out of that fund. And I took a quick peek. You recall that Finance and Budget did a presentation to you on some possible fee increases. And they did a survey. It was a great graph. I don't know if you remember it, but it surveyed 11 different valley cities. And of those, we're the fourth lowest, even with the proposed rate increases, which I'm not going to talk about. But we're very competitive, is my point. And we do that because we've been smart about how we do things, and we've got a great team to help us oversee it. So kudos to them. A couple things that we'll be asking for in the budget, in this budget. The department overall is seeking $1.8 million in supplemental requests. 1.7 of that is offset by the water and sewer revenue. The detail of that, it's kind of based on new growth, continuing to make our operations more efficient, the system maintenance needs that we have, and resource planning type activities. So the first one you'll see up there, CAP, Central Arizona Project, water delivery and water portfolio. That basically is a tip of the hat to the drought management plan. The cost to buy the water from the Central Arizona Project is increasing. It's going to be about an additional $705,000 this coming year. And that's because the less that comes down, it's the law of supply and demand. The less you have, the more costly it's going to be. So the price increases are occurring there. We won't have the full amount that we used to have, and that's having an impact from that standpoint. The other piece, we're asking for a few positions. You'll see up there a utility system operator, a utility plant operator, and a mechanic too. And basically, when you kind of total that up, it looks like it's everything. It's a little over $200,000 that we'll be seeking. The 3 new positions, they're growth related. The new system operator is going to help us inspect, maintain, and repair over 26,000 water valves in the city. We currently don't have that position. And the valves have to be exercised. I know it's just one of those things, but it's one of those things we have to do. If we don't exercise and a valve blows out, you can cut service off to a good chunk of our population in that general area. So we need to exercise those valves. We need to create a program, and that's kind of what this is, a strategic program to go out and do those. Literally, it's at least once a year. We haven't been able to do that just because of staffing. So we are asking for that position to help us out there. The other piece that we're seeking at the Beardsley wastewater treatment facility, we're seeking a new utility plant operator. And this individual is going to kind of specialize in predictive and preventive maintenance and handling work orders. What is occurring? What do we need to be aware of? What may go out? How can that be fixed before it even goes out? And we do need a person to do that. And my suspicion too is other plants will benefit from that as well, because we're not tying up operators at one particular site. We'll be able to have a person to address it at all the sites. We need a mechanic too. The Greenway, Quintero, Jomax, and Beardsley plants, they don't have a mechanic on staff. We've been contracting that out, and we are now to the point in kind of the maintenance needs that it makes sense to kind of bring it in-house. So we are asking for permission to move forward and bring on a mechanic. And then, let me see here. There are, as I mentioned earlier, the plants and the infrastructure, things break, things need to be replaced. We've been kind of getting along a little bit, but there's some deficits in some areas that we need to address, and we're asking for a little over $700,000 to address those. In one particular, at the Butler plant, one of the things that kind of came up when we were looking at the budget was the waste that we collect from the wastewater system. Tipping fees have consumed more and more of their operating budget, so we needed to put in for a little bit of a request there. Then you have fans and blowers and smaller pumps that we need to routinely replace as well. And then finally, the last piece, water conservation and sustainability. This is kind of neat. We know, we see the future, and you do as well, with respect to the need to talk about water conservation, kind of sustainability practices. And we're kind of, and you'll hear a lot more about this Monday night. We're proposing to kind of venture into a new area using our reclaimed water more directly. And you'll see Monday night we're asking for some funds to do a kind of an engineering study to figure out what might be the best route if we were to extend what we call purple pipe. And we have 3 reclamation facilities. There are a variety of options. That study will help us get there. And then we also have a little bit of an earmarker in the capital budget for actually doing something once the study's done. But what comes with that is an awareness and educational opportunity. So we're asking for $35,000 to kind of bring in a part-time person to assist in the water conservation sustainability area. So you can go out to neighborhoods and HOAs and individuals and look at the literature that we have to say, hey, it's okay to conserve, it's okay to be mindful of how you use your water. So that, in a nutshell, is the last chapter of your operating departments, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Phew. Council, do you have any questions, comments? Well, I'm looking forward to the conversation, the CIP conversation about our water progress as we move forward, but it is very exciting the way we've been able to handle the drought so far and the way we've been able to maintain our resources, you know, underground, 5.5 years so far that we have sort of banked, and the things that we've done that have been really protecting all of our allocation and resources so far. So I'm really, really proud of what we've done so far, and it's exciting to take us to the next step as we continue to grow in our city. So we're going to be ready for whatever is next. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
All right.
Are you next?
I am next. We've got 2 more departments to go, but they're probably our 2 most high-profile departments. We've got Public Safety, Police Department, and Fire Department to come up next. So we'll start with the Police Department's proposed budget, which is on page 497. As you know, Chief Miller, who started last September, has been actively evaluating the internal operations of the department and implementing aspects of the matrix study that was conducted last year, including a new beat structure and hourly shift change to help reduce our response times. So he's continuing to evaluate the department as we move forward, and we've got some proposed budget changes based on his recommendations. Also, as you can see, and as we've referenced with a lot of the other departments, anybody that can get accredited, any department that can get accredited has accreditation. But I would like to note that for the police department specifically, they received the highest level of accreditation possible last year, the gold standard of accreditation from CALEA. So that's notable to the police department, and congratulations to them and their staff. The police department is organized into 8 areas. Most notably, the police administration includes our police chief and command staff, our patrol services division, criminal investigations, special operations, communications, which is our 911 call center, and administrative support services are some of the top areas in the department. The department has 304 full-time employees and a budget of $51.4 million. They are our largest department from an employee standpoint as well as a budget standpoint. 81% of the total budget is personnel costs, so a large majority is personnel related, and 17% is contractual. The department is mainly funded through general fund, but they do have some one-time expenses that are funded through one-time grants as well as asset forfeiture funds. Goals of the department are to reduce crime and the fear of crime, operate with maximum efficiency, and partner with the community to identify and solve problems. The focus of our leadership within the police department, and led by Chief Miller and his command staff, is to ensure appropriate service levels, have professional and well-trained staff with the necessary equipment to perform their jobs, and engage with the community. In order to meet these goals and strategic outcomes, the following items are the major proposed budget additions for the police department. The number one priority is a new police officer that is proposed to allow a detective to be assigned to an FBI task force. What that will allow us to do is utilize FBI resources on a lot of our crimes, some of our more high-profile crimes, as well as some of the crimes that involve social media and cell phones. So what we do now is, with a lot of our crimes, they all involve either a cell phone or social media to some degree. And right now, we've got to do that all in-house, and with the help of some FBI resources, we'll be able to use their data mining expertise to solve crimes much faster than we are right now. We also are proposing 6 new vehicles for patrol and special operations. That will help reduce the strain on the existing fleet, which is really at capacity, so that will allow us some existing vehicles for those 2 areas. We are proposing body-worn cameras for all of our public safety officers. All of our patrol officers are equipped with body-worn cameras right now. Our next step is to equip our public safety officers with body-worn cameras to improve transparency and limit liability for the police department. We're also looking for new consoles for the 911 communication staff to replace the existing consoles, which were in place when the PSAB building was originally built 15 years ago. So it's time to replace those and give them some new consoles for their work area. Also, one of our canines, Rocco, is planning to retire next year. So we are proposing to replace him with a new canine. So that is part of our supplemental budget request. And with that, we need to request an associated vehicle with the canine unit. The existing vehicle was not part of the replacement fund, so that would put that into the replacement fund and replace that vehicle. And lastly, we have continued contract services that we are proposing with legal support and contract communications support. So with that, I can take any questions that you have, or we can have Chief Miller come down too if you have any questions for the police department.
Thank you. Council, any questions about police?
I'm not finding Rocco here. What is the cost of
It's $75,000 in one-time funding. That's primarily for the vehicle, and $12,000 in ongoing for the replacement cost. But most of that is for the vehicle. I can look at the detail.
15,000.
15,000 for the K-9.
It's at page 526.
That's for the veterinary care and
So,
food and.
I mean, where do we order a dog?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The dog will come from a reputable dog vendor in Southern California. It's one that multiple agencies use to obtain their canines, and that particular kennel has a variety of different types of specialties that the dogs are trained to do.
Okay.
Very good.
Do we have a certain specialty here that he needs to sniff out, or?
The dog that we're looking to get would be an explosive, a dog that can detect explosives and then also work in patrol to do patrol searches and things like that when officers need them.
Okay, interesting.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right. Easy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the fire medical department. As you know, the fire medical department is led by Chief Reese, who's also been busy building up our ambulatory service operations and maintaining our superior service and fire operations. The department is also nationally accredited and recently received a new ISO rating of 1, which we presented to you last year, which is the best insurance rating possible for a city. So congratulations, Chief Reese and his staff. The fire medical department includes 8 areas as well, most notably administration, emergency medical services, fire operations, and ambulance operations. The department has 220 full-time employees and a budget of $38.2 million. 88% of the total budget is personnel cost and 12% is contractual, so a large percentage of the budget, again, personnel related. The fire department is primarily funded through general fund and fees collected for services rendered for fire operations and emergency medical services on calls served. Goals of the department are to protect life and property in that order, to increase community awareness and preparedness, and to operate the department to maximum efficiency. In order to meet these goals, the following items are the major proposed budgeted additions for fire medical. Number one is the expansion of the emergency ambulance service to include a fifth and final ambulance for 100% coverage of the city. This includes 7 firefighters and a billing specialist. Next, we're proposing to replace the rescue boat at Lake Pleasant, which is currently 10 years old and is starting to become more of a maintenance burden than it is to be effective, and so we need to replace that vehicle, or proposing to replace that vehicle. We're also proposing new medical supply machines in each of our fire stations. What that will do is allow our medical supplies to be within those machines that will control issuance of medical supplies in each of the fire stations. What it does is it creates a built-in inventory system, and it allows us to keep more accurate tracking of our supplies used by each call. So when we go out for a call and they come back and they need to resupply their unit, then that's tracked automatically, and it'll help us with inventory as well as with billing services. We're also proposing a new records management system that allows for record data to be input and viewed in the field in real time. Right now, our existing records management system is outdated, and the vendor no longer supports the system. And lastly, a contract administrative assistant is proposed to help with the growing administrative duties related to supporting field staff and our growing emergency medical program. All of these proposed budget items will meet our goal for achieving superior public service and public safety. And with that, that concludes our presentation.
Council? Councilmember Hutt?
Help me, I can't remember what it was called, but we did it as a trial.
Community paramedicine?
That's it. Is that in here anywhere? Are we going to be able to fund that? I think that's super important. Here come the chief. Sauntering down.
The short answer, I'll let Chief Wiest give the more detailed answer, but the short answer is yes, we'll continue community paramedicine.
Yes, Mayor and Mayor Pro Temp, we are looking and just applied for a grant that hopefully will carry us another year in the program of community paramedicine, and it would be a program that would be a triad with Surprise and Goodyear if we were to get the grant, and would buy us one more year in the study, and then depending on the study and the outcome, we would come back to you next year and with a proposal.
With our own, in other words, at that time,
Yes.
possibly.
Yes.
I think with a city our size, that's definitely merited. So I'll be happy to have one of our own next year.
So, Chief, could you, I mean, we've had our own ambulance, in-house ambulance service for a while now, long enough to make a good assessment of how this continuity of service might be beneficial for our residents. Would you like to just talk a little bit about that?
Sure, absolutely. Mayor, let me take you back to why we got into business in the first place. There was one ambulance company in the whole state of Arizona that went bankrupt. And the ADHS, the Arizona Department of Health Services, was panicking how individual cities and jurisdictions were going to transport people. And so that's what kind of got us into the system in the first place, is that we needed to provide service for Peoria. The other thing was that the continuity care was important, and the existing company that was going bankrupt and one that was buying the business had a different model that we were accustomed to. We're accustomed to a dedicated service to the city of Peoria, which meant that you had 6 ambulances in Peoria that was dedicated, didn't go to any other discipline or any other jurisdiction, and they were changing that model to what they call a designated system, which they would have a X amount of ambulances in the west side of the valley, and would play a shell game with the
the number of ambulances and depending on who would complain the most would get the ambulances that day. So the continuity of care was important to us. And thirdly, it increased our level of service because the old way was that when we went on a call and we treated a patient, one of our medics jumped on the ambulance, they went to whatever hospital the patient either wanted or needed to go to, and then our engine would follow that ambulance to, would it be downtown of St. Joe's or a county hospital or wherever, and they would be out of service, leaving a pocket open in the city for service. With our ambulance, our own ambulance, is you can have a paramedic on an engine company start treatment and then swap a medic from the ambulance and continue continuity care and then keep the ambulance in service without having to go and retrieve your medic. So it's paying off immensely and certainly increasing the service delivery to the city of Peoria.
That's really impressive. It's impressive that we've been able to bring this in-house and seamlessly make it function as if we've always had an ambulance company in-house. And also, you know, it's just really beneficial for our residents and our citizens. And now, as we grow, we know how to do this really well. We just continue to grow our ambulance service as we grow our fire service.
Another question.
Yes, Councilmember Hunt.
We are growing, and I see 191 busy all the time. Are we anywhere close to needing another fire station? Is that, how many years out is that, do you think? So we can start saving our pennies.
Mayor Pro Temp, we're analyzing that at this time. The LA unit has been in service for about a year now, and it has made an impact.
The what?
The low acuity vehicle that we have, it's a two-person pickup truck with one medic and one EMT that takes care of the non-emergent or non-life-threatening calls in the area of kind of northwest Peoria. And what that is doing is not reducing the number of calls for Engine 192. What it's doing is keeping 192 more in their area to service calls they weren't servicing before, and having to have outside units from either Sun City or within our own system come with longer response time. And so what it's done is kept that engine to respond to more life-threatening calls and shorten that response time to that. So we're still in that analyzing phase.
Okay. Anyone else? All right, thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mayor and Council. So we got through all the operating areas, so that's, congratulations, that's exciting. 562 pages. But Monday night, we can start up again, and that'll be at 5 p.m., and that'll be kind of going through the capital improvement program. So and we can do any budget wrap-up after that. But that's it for tonight.
Okay, thank you. It's impressive how knowledgeable all of you are. Incredible. Thank you. Mr. Tyne, anything else?
Thank you very much for your patience, and we really appreciate the time that you've given, and we will look forward to our Monday discussion on the capital plan.
Okay, thank you. Then we are adjourned until our Monday night budget session.
Can we leave our book here?